Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us for episode 40 here on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. For those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. A huge shout out to our chief Heron Head, Matias. Thank you so much for your generous support. Additionally, we want to shout out our other Patreon supporters, Art, Brian, Kevin, James, and Karen. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And if you feel so inclined to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. And if you don't feel so inclined, that's totally okay too. We appreciate you being here. So guys, we made it. It's game week. Inter Miami are back in action. The Herons take the field this week. Can I get a pulse check?
We're so back. We're so back. And not only are we back, but we're selling people off. It's my favorite. So we're already getting rid of Stefanelli. We're looking at possibly there's rumors about Gene. I mean, this is amazing.
I expected a little better of a pulse check than that. Jeez, you sounded so excited, and you said like two just boring
check.
things.
It's not the whole heartbeat. I mean, you know what I mean? He just wants a pulse check.
You're like almost dead.
All right.
Jeez. Anyways, besides those two very exciting facts that Jose stated, we got a game coming up. All right, so that's fun. It's nothing crazy, still friendly, but hey, it's a game. We get to see everyone out there together, and we get to see our new shiny toys: Luis Suarez, Gressel, and then obviously the rest of the gang. And something else that kind of came up today. It was today that came up the Agustin Paravecino. If I got it right, that came up today, right? So that's an exciting topic that may come to fruition. Let's see. But yeah, lots of still little things coming out every day and keeping us busy and keeping the fans busy. So hopefully nothing else comes up after we post this, like what happened last week. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Fun week.
Yeah, I agree. The main thing for me is just it's going to be nice seeing our boys out there playing soccer. So that's something we haven't seen in a while. We've seen Messi in the news a lot, winning all kinds of awards. He just bagged another one now, so that's great. But we want to see them back in action, and even if it's just for a little bit, just a little taste, I think we're all starved for it. So let's see what do we got on the docket, boys.
Well, I guess Jose kind of kicked us off. We can talk about Stefanelli. It sounds like he has agreed to personal terms with Everton from Chile, not the English Premier League club, which would have been more surprising. But it sounds like personal terms are agreed for Stefanelli and that the clubs are just hammering out the final details. So it does seem pretty sure that he's going to be on the out. We saw him for very small spurts at the end of last season. He was dealing with injuries. Jose's ready to ship him off along with half of the rest of the team. He was depth. He had some spunk, some spark. And, we wish him the best if he does go. And if he doesn't, then we're happy that he's still here, aren't we, Jose?
I mean, what he does for us is he gives us another international slot. So that's awesome. That just means that we're hungry. We're looking for more guys. Like I said, the other guy that they were looking at also shipping away possibly is Gene, which I kind of liked him. So I'm a little bit more upset if that were to happen. But to be honest, if they're looking for another international slot, they're just looking for big dogs. So it is what it is. Happy hunting.
I got a little. Did you know? I knew that his name was Corentin Jean. I did not know that his nickname was Coco. So dang, I wish we had known this a little earlier because I definitely would have been clamoring for some more Coco.
Yeah, he was injured all of last season, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a knee injury. So even if you did know his nickname, then we maybe not have had too much impact if you were clamoring for him to get on the field because he might have been limping on, which most of our players were anyways towards the end of last season.
Could have had Coco, Toto, Facu. We had these 2-syllable nickname boys all over the
best
place.
Nicknames.
Oh my god.
Messi,
Alba,
Yedlin,
Buski.
Over it.
Crema.
Benja Crema. Yeah.
What could have been? We hardly knew you, Coco.
Jose wants Modric.
Yeah. Neymar.
I think it's the main reason Stefanelli's out of here.
way too long of a name. 4 syllables, and conversely for the amount of talent. Yeah, we'll see if it pans out. Like I said, it does sound like the personal terms are agreed and the clubs are just sort of hammering out the details. And then Chris mentioned Agustin Palavecino from River Plate. He is a midfielder, sort of an attacking midfielder. It seems like we are targeting pretty heavily South American clubs, Argentinian league players.
From River Plate.
Facu came from Colón. But yeah, I mean, Toto came over from Argentina. Facu, we're looking at these other players. We were talking about Leandro Gonzalez Pires, who plays for River Plate, if I'm not mistaken. These players they're good, man. The Argentinian league is not to be it's not a league that's just you can scoff at it. These are players and clubs that play in very high level competitions in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and getting some of these players really, I think, ups the veteran presence that we have there, the physicality, the technical ability. These are not just like no names from second, third tier leagues. The Argentinian league, as far as the Americas go, is solid. Like it's up there. You would rank it up there pretty highly. Personally don't know a lot about Agustin Palavecino. Go ahead, Jose.
I looked some stuff up. Just a few things just for you guys to know. Did you know?
Can we get a pen click?
At the end?
Oh,
did you guys know he was actually born in Florida?
I did not know.
In the province in Buenos Aires. It's the province in Buenos Aires in Argentina. And one thing that I caught my attention, that was just something I just saw that was interesting.
What a twist.
In the Twitter world, when I was looking up just Agustin, just things that were being said in the South American League, it seemed like they were kind of happy that we were trying to get him. So just something to know. Just it is what it is. It just seemed like a lot of the gifts were just gifts of him just making boneheaded plays. He has a lot of good, because I did look up some games that he had recently played in with River Plate. He's obviously a guy that's going to attack the midfield, just constantly bring the ball up of the pitch, and that's fun. But he seems like a very polarizing player in the sense of like he's great, but he can make really dumb plays. And yeah, so it's just another guy that can bring up the ball. Great, he has a great long shot. He seems to not be shy away from shooting it. Seems to have a nice IQ in the box. And for anyone interested in EAFC rating, 74.
We were talking about that before you hopped on with us. I did read that as well from some of the fans, that a lot of them think that this is just a ploy from River Plate to like drum up interest in him, to see it. They're like, oh, if Inter Miami wants him, maybe somebody else will want him too. So I think there might be some credence to it if they're just trying to sell him off. So that's something we have to always be wary of when it comes to rumors in soccer. When it comes to the transfer window, there's always all these whispers and everything, and we don't know what's real and what's not. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, we're looking at his EA rating, and that's 5 play styles, Jose. Power shot, long ball. Oof.
4-star skill.
3-star, 4-star. Ooh. Stuff that gets you all hot and bothered.
Just to add on something else that I read that I actually mentioned before too, and it makes sense what the fans are saying, I guess, that he kind of fell out of favor with their coach from the few articles that I read. So it seems like the coach is kind of trying to just get him out a little bit. So it is something to watch. A lot of weird little, I don't want to say red flags, but maybe orange flags.
He's probably better than what we got anyways.
So.
That's the thing. The way I saw it was he's probably better than what we have. Anyway, so it's like I'll take him. If we're getting rid of Stefanelli and we're bringing this guy in, I think it's fine. You know what I mean?
I agree. If he has that raw talent, That's something that we said when Messi came on here, is that he really elevated the cast around him. So if he can make Benja look as good as he did, and he made Diego Gomez and all these other players look better than what they've ever looked before, let's see him do something with, maybe he'll have somebody who hasn't been doing so well but has that talent. Maybe that'll help him out in a way, or maybe they can impart some knowledge and some skill on him, because we do have very, very, very established, talented vets. So it might not just be Messi; it'll be the other players as well. So that's something that I'm excited, because now we have these players almost at every level that can kind of give some knowledge, because we didn't have that true striker to give knowledge to Campana. So now we have Suarez there, Jordi Alba. He can do it for the wingers. We don't have anybody for the central defender position, but Busquets can obviously help with the midfielders that drop back, and Messi can help with the wings as well as with the attacking middles. So that's something that's nice. We kind of have that mentoring group throughout. But again, center back. How many times do we have to ask, please? Somebody.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Our best defense is just going to be. It's just going to be scoring 5 goals per game is going to be our best defense.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm excited to see how we play with El Salvador, because I don't know how they're going to play defense. It's going to be very fun. That's what I'm curious about. What Tata's going to be doing with that. Another 2-syllable guy, Tata. You know?
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be
Excellent job, Jose.
It's going to be Toto and Christoph. And then my thing is, who's going to be the next one on? Like, when those guys inevitably come off, who gets those next minutes? Because everybody's going to be trying to prove themselves. So that's something that I think will be really fun to watch in these matchups, these international friendlies and all that. Is, let's see what we have in defense, because a lot of these guys, they weren't even available. The ones that we did have that we don't know what we haven't really seen anything from them. So let's see what we have. Maybe they show something and then they like, okay, these guys aren't going to cut it. So it makes them a little more antsy to add a defender, or maybe they show that we don't need a defender as bad as we thought we did. So that'd be great, but it would be great to sign somebody, because it's slim pickings back there.
We seem keen on just getting a bunch of midfielders, so that seems to be what we want.
At the end of the day, we shouldn't settle, and maybe they just haven't found the right fit. Everything that we hear is that they're aware that they need a central defender. They're aware that they need a center back to add to the rotation, especially with the loss of Kamal. Tata specifically spoke on that after the first training practice that they had. And, the front office is aware, but I think they're also not trying to settle for just anybody. Some of the names that we've been connected to have been pretty good names to be connected with. We had Rojo, we had Medina, who maybe is not a true center back, as we learned. But, a lot of these names are people that would fit in and fit really well and provide a lot compared to the people that we currently have in the back line. So it'll be interesting to continue to monitor that. Every time there's like a little blip of Inter Miami news, it always does seem to be like a midfielder or a winger. And you just are like, please just like link us to a center back, for the love of God. Before we get into the El Salvador match, Messi also won a pretty prestigious individual award just the other day. He was named the FIFA best player for the past year. And what's maybe most interesting about him winning that is that the time frame for when the award is awarded actually began the day after he won the World Cup. So it doesn't count the World Cup, which means that a lot of what it counts is his time at Inter Miami. And our good friend Fabian Renkel posted that his interpretation is that means that FIFA is looking at the Leagues Cup as something that should be weighed somewhat heavily along with other domestic cups. So it is pretty interesting to consider that Messi was awarded this award not for his World Cup play, but for his club play at PSG and then Inter Miami. So
another thing I think is pretty cool is, so the way that award is done is there's different brackets of who gets to vote. There's the captain's bracket, and for Portugal, the captain was Cristiano Ronaldo, but he refused to vote for the award. So he passed the vote down to Pepe, and Pepe didn't vote for because Messi had the same amount of votes, the first place votes as Haaland. So they tied. So that vote could have been the tiebreaker, and Pepe ended up voting for I think Bernardo Silva. And yeah, so if Cristiano Ronaldo had voted for Haaland, which I don't know, I feel like he might have done it, Messi wouldn't have won this award. So that's thanks, Cristiano.
Yeah, the voting was tight. It was tied all the way through. I think the captains voted for Messi. I think the media was the one that voted for Haaland, and the fan voting went to Messi as well. And there's a fourth one. I forgot which one it was now, but that's how it kind of ended up. So it's actually interesting to see the players, the captains, vote for Messi over Haaland. I think that speaks a lot to it, right? The fans always have their favorites, and the media has their little things to pick with different players. But the players are out there. The players see what's going on. The players really, to me, their opinion really matters the most out of everyone. And it's cool to see Messi being the one there. And I know a lot of people are all mad about it, and to some degree I kind of understand, just because, like Julio said, the World Cup wasn't part of this voting. The World Cup was part of the 2022 voting, which he won as well. So it is interesting that he was voted. He did win the Leagues Cup and the 2 French trophies as well with PSG. So those are the 3 trophies he won last year, along with his great stats that he brought from PSG and the small stint that he had with Inter Miami. So all of those things together, FIFA thought it was good enough for them, along with all of those the voting. So good for him. People are always going to have something to say about it. Everyone's always going to have an opinion, but hey, he's the greatest to ever play. Just enjoy while he can. He's probably not going to see a lot of these awards going to him in the future. So just enjoy while we got it.
I totally disagree. I have him as my right here. I have him here listed as my next Ballon d'Or nominee. I'm gonna actually put him in because I'm expecting him to sweep in MLS, and as FIFA now recognizes us as a very, very competitive league, obviously. So yeah, so it's just, I'm not surprised. It's another trophy for our boy, and said he's getting ready for another one.
Are you part of the media vote?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Heron Heads.
That's right.
Moving on up.
Representation from Jose. Yeah, listen, I love it. It's another trophy cabinet that Inter Miami, the club, can tout forever, as part of their history, which I think is just super cool. It's he's going
to be the first person presented with that award on U.S. soil.
Yeah, it's the same as the Ballon d'Or as far as being the first, maybe the only one for an extremely long time until this league as a whole really elevates itself. But it's cool for the club, man. It's cool for the league. It's obviously cool for him personally. For him, it might just be another drop in the bucket, but for us, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And when they finish Freedom Park, they're gonna build like a massive museum, and there's gonna be a whole wing just for Messi's awards that he's brought over to the club and let us share with.
And the thing is that did you hear how he's gonna get the award? Apparently, they're gonna present it at El Salvador.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool for El Salvador fans. And then on top of that, then I think they're gonna present it in Dallas FC afterwards, which sucks for us, right? Like, we'd want to see it, but whatever.
Yeah, apparently
we'll see lots of trophies this year.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about it.
Apparently he didn't go to the award because he was training with the team to get ready for El Salvador, which is another cool thing. He didn't go. I don't need that. I'm gonna go train.
Literally doesn't care.
So let's talk about the El Salvador game now. Obviously they're gonna present this trophy, apparently, according to Jose. If that doesn't happen, come back for Jose, not for us.
Come back.
Some details about the game. It's Friday, January 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I have no idea where it's going to be broadcast. Figure it out.
It is. I actually saw it today. MLS. I was going to post it. I forgot to post it. It's actually on the MLS website. They're going to have a live stream on there.
Oh, sweet. So
yeah,
great.
Fabian actually posted it, and I was going to do it, but I forgot.
Follow at the Heron Heads for more great content. So Friday, January 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time at the Estadio Cuscatlan in San Salvador. It has a capacity of 53,400 people, and the cheapest tickets to get in the door are $200. for a country that is not the most wealthy country. So I think that is a very steep ticket. Usually I'm in favor of just like the capitalism surrounding these ticket sales, but I think that's pretty steep for a friendly. I understand the magnitude of it, and it's the only time any of these people probably ever will have a chance to see Messi in their country, realistically. So to an extent, I understand it, but man, $200 for maybe 20 to 45 minutes of Messi is a lot of
It's the most
money.
you're gonna get. It's the most you're gonna probably get, you know.
It's a lot of cash, and those are the cheapest ones, right? Like those scale up to probably
$500 I saw.
Yeah,
it gets up to $500.
Yeah, pretty wild. What do you guys? What do you guys?
shows-
How do you guys think this plays out?
I'm excited, particularly for the fans. Honestly, yeah, it's deep, but for them, I mean, I sent you guys on the group chat. I don't know, Chris, if you posted or whatever. It was a little girl that her parents had bought her a ticket to the game, and they don't look like they make the most money in the world, and the little girl was crying. It was pretty cool. But that's how much it means to these people. That's soccer is their game. That's what they want to do. You know, that's what they want to see, and it's cool that Messi brings that joy to that part of the world. You know, but on the pitch, I'm excited to see these three guys just chop it up. Just go ahead and score 3 goals, get out in 30 minutes. I'm excited to see Suarez finally in. We've been wanting this since last July, right? This guy's finally here, and now I need a third jersey. You know, so I'm freaking out about how I'm going to tell my wife about that. But yeah, I'm excited.
Third.
Yeah, I already have.
Oh, because you have the white.
Pink,
You have the white
I have
one.
the pink one, and no. We're sorry. I have the black one and I have the white one, which I hate the white one because I always get a little stain every time I go to the game.
Because you eat like a 5-year-old.
I hate white shirts. It is what it is.
You need a Inter Miami bib.
Heron Heads bib.
If it's white, it sucks. I need to get a black one.
I get the rubber one. You can just wash it off. That's how it works.
With the little pocket.
Then you can eat it later.
Coming soon to a
Yeah,
store near you.
I'm excited, like I said, to see. I don't care so much about the results. Like the first thing is, yes, let's see the big four out there, and quickly let me see the depth. I'm really interested in seeing how the depth plays. Again, this is we're playing against a national team. They're gonna have pretty good rapport, so they might be a little bit faster paced than what the depth pieces that we have are ready for. But no, I just want to see. I want to see these guys play behind the big players. I want to see just what we have, because that's really where the question marks are. We know what we're going to get out of the starting group that we saw all that final third of our season last year. So let's see. Show us what you got.
Yeah, I'm actually I don't know how much Tata is really gonna show. I mean, after all, it is a friendly against national team. But I'm interested to see who's going to start specifically in the left wing, because that's the one that we're kind of not sure about. And then, like David said, depth at center back. Who's going to be the next in line? We keep saying we need help, but who's going to be the next in line back there? And how do they do versus a national team? You know, they're no slouches at the end of the day. It's the best players in the country against our possible backups. Should be a decent matchup, right? So those are the two things I kind of want to watch in this matchup. Obviously, the big guys are going to play for a little bit. I doubt Tata's going to show too many of his tactics on the first friendly of the season, so I don't expect to see much there. Just very vanilla play out of everybody, and then we'll see how it goes from there. I'm curious how much Gressel's going to play, since he's been with the team as much as Luis Suarez has been, but Luis Suarez has that extra familiarity with everybody, so we'll see how much he plays as well and how he does. And not much to look at, just glad to see the team out there again.
Yeah, it's going to be fun just to see the team out there 100%, because, listen, as the resident Salvadoran, the national team is not a good team.
They haven't say it, Julio. I mean, we're giving you respect from
0
your
wins.
family.
in the last 15 matches.
We were letting you
across
say it.
any competition. So, listen, I expect Inter Miami to absolutely roll through this team, even if it's the backups. It should be like 6-0, 7-1, something pretty crazy. I think there's going to be fireworks early and often, because even if it's just 30 to 45 minutes of the big guys playing, they're gonna feast. They're gonna feast. They're gonna be like old school tiki taka. It's gonna be a show, and that might be why tickets are priced at 200, because they know it's gonna be like a spectacle. It's gonna be like an exhibition match, like Globetrotters against whoever they always play, the Generals. Exactly. So I'm expecting just an absolute demolition job. I am to an extent excited to see how the players around the Barca boys play. I think that's something to watch really throughout the entire preseason. How do these players really adapt to playing with these superstar level players, and who's going to step up? Because if those guys decide that Facu is not good enough, for example, okay, so then who's going to play Robert Taylor? Who's going to play Crema? I think a lot of the success of this team will be who can step up, who can play complementary to these players that are really going to carry a majority of the load, and then how long can they keep that consistency of a high level of play. I think that's definitely the biggest thing to watch. Obviously, we want to see some of the pieces that we're more unfamiliar with in center back. We want to see McVeigh play a little bit more. We want to see Ian Frey, happy birthday. We want to see just who's going to be that next guy for the time being, while we do look for another rotational piece in the back line. So I think all of those things are really going to be interesting to watch. And that's where we might get the most takeaway, is being like, oh, McVeigh had a couple nice plays, or, oh, Ian Frey made a really nice pass and he really advanced the play. It's the first friendly in the preseason. These guys are going to have rust adapting to the game speed. But, by next week, 2 weeks from now, once we see a couple matches under their belt, we're going to see them start clicking. All that said, it's still going to be a very high-scoring affair for Inter Miami. I would be shocked if El Salvador even manages 1 goal, and I would be shocked if we scored less than 6.
You know what I don't expect to see is Robbie Robinson, because apparently it's already hurt. So that's more of the same there. But hopefully he stays the only one hurt after this match.
And Julio, you mentioned the tiki taka. I want to just mention that video that they posted. I think it was the Barca boys and Campana, just back and forth. Back. Oh, it was beautiful. It was so nice to watch. It was just training, but it was just exciting to see them do that. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that on the pitch starting Friday.
I'm going to plant the flag now, and it didn't pan out last time I did this, but Campana and Suarez, both, I think by the end of the MLS season, just for the MLS, will have 20 goal contributions each. Because I think we are going to see a lot of two striker
with Vegas, because that's a hell of a bet right there.
Combined, you probably get decent odds. Just for Suarez, it's probably like favorite to happen.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Combined 20, but not individually 20.
Each individually
combined
will
40,
have 20.
Basically, he's saying
right, combined 40.
So 40 plus.
Minimum.
That's a great.
Because I think Suarez might get 20 goals, period, and then mix in like 6-7 assists, and Campana will probably be at like 12 and 8, 13 and 8, around there. Because I think they're gonna interplay really well together and just feed each other. There's gonna have to be so much focus on Suarez, but then Campana is gonna demand some respect from the back lines, and then he can just lay it off, and someone's gonna score. Like, I don't know. We're going to score a ton of goals. The end of the day. That's going to happen.
Who needs defense? No one needs defense.
Honestly, I wish I think they picked El Salvador for that, to be honest with you, just for a fun, like, let's just go crazy. Game. Let's do crazy things.
Let's just go get some pupusas, score some goals, and get out of there.
Yeah, real quick.
And they'll have 2 tents. The Inter Miami is going to set up 2 tents outside the stadium. One is to sell jerseys, and the other 100%. One is to sell Apple Plus subscriptions, and that's it.
100%. 100%. And then what I was gonna say was, imagine if it was gonna be Inter Miami versus the United States national team. That would be fun. That would be fun. Wait, you don't think we'd win?
Minimum tickets would be what?
500 plus.
$500.
I agree.
And
Are
we
you
won't
saying
win.
you're saying no? You don't think we'd win?
Well, you know what? If Greg Berhalter is the coach for the US, then absolutely Inter Miami would win. Guy sucks. Godly.
I do think that would be a
American
competitive.
soccer.
I do think that would be a competitive match, but unfortunately, we are watching a different match this Friday.
That's what it is.
It's nice to do.
We'll have fun either way.
I think it's going to be a blast. Like I said, I think it's going to be an absolute fireworks show, demolition derby. I'm imagining that all the big guns are going to start the game rather than be subbed on, and then as the game wears on, we'll sub on some more inexperienced players, maybe some of our youth players. Maybe we'll see Boatwright. Maybe we'll see Ty Hall get onto the pitch. There's a lot of players that are kind of on that fringe of just being reserve players. But now's the time to get playing time. Now's the time to maybe get 5, 10, 15 minutes with Jordi Alba or with Sergio Busquets or Luis Suarez. Any of these players. It'd be such a great moment for some of these really young players. I mean, we have some teenagers still. So that could be like, just moments that they'll never forget. It could just be core memories of theirs forever.
Core memories as a teenager.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, if I got out there and they wanted to like just, if I could be in the Tiki Taka video, forget about it. Forget about
core
it.
memory.
The guy
With
that's
Campana.
tiki-takaing around you, just chasing after that.
Dude, I take it. Sign me up. I think it'd be a blast. I think it's going to be a blast on Friday. I can't wait. I'm so excited that we're so back. Like Jose said, we're so back, and I just can't wait to see the team out there, man. Like it's been fun, sort of building up towards this. It's been fun getting Luis Suarez in, seeing the footage from training. I mean, the entire MLS ecosystem just descended onto Miami this past weekend, and it was just so cool seeing all the pictures, all the videos. Everyone's just so happy. Like, this is the best. Like, this is the best time. It's gonna be awesome once we start winning a couple games, once we start advancing in tournaments. But right now, like, it's all just sunshine, just beautiful. It's just the best time of the entire season because, it's just we have the freedom to dream, if I may.
And now you say that, it was awesome seeing just Instagram account after account after account. These big accounts that you never see speak about the MLS, ESPN, Bleacher Report, like all these big accounts just posting about Inter Miami, and they're here in Fort Lauderdale just filming the team. All these pictures coming out. It was super cool to see. Like you said, everybody was here for that media day or media weekend, whatever it was. So it was awesome. You would have never thought to have seen that just a year ago, and here we are today. All eyes are on us, and expectations super high. So hopefully we don't let disappoint.
The season's here. I'm so excited.
How many trophies can we win this year?
Isn't it 4?
We have, well, the MLS, theoretically, there's 2. There's the Supporter Shield. There's the MLS Cup. There's the Leagues Cup. The U.S. Open Cup, they removed the MLS clubs from participating.
I thought they were fighting that, weren't they?
They might be. I don't know. It's still unclear.
I think they might be
I
fighting
thought they
that.
ruled on it. They might change it, but as of right now, no, we can't play in that.
All right, so let's not count that. So then we have the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and then I believe that's it.
No, the one that we won last year.
You already said
Cup.
that. Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup,
Leagues Cup, Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, and the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Okay.
And then the U.S. Open Cup is the one that they're like ruling on.
So 4.
So 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
When do the CONCACAF Champions League games start? Do any of us know?
Don't ask me those questions live on stream here.
So sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
I just thought.
I don't know what I was
the worst
thinking.
part is that I saw it the other day, and oh man, I can't remember now.
What are the betting odds, Julio? Let's just start spitballing. Yeah, what is our over under in how many trophies we're gonna win?
Oh, you would still get plus odds on any competition at this point. It might be low, like for the MLS season to win the MLS Cup. I know 2 weeks ago, Inter Miami were plus 300 and they were favorites. That has gone down to plus 200 as of last week, and I haven't checked this week.
That's the thing. I don't even think we're done getting guys. Like,
yeah, well,
everything's showing that we're not.
We know that there is just 1 to 2 more pieces that would make us really just top to bottom solid. Like if we can get a good center back, we are the best team by far. Right now, we're one of the best teams. It's a matter of gelling and getting together, building chemistry. But already just on talent, we're one of the best teams in the league, hands down. And that's not just because like Messi is the greatest player in the world, but like we have Messi, we have Suarez, we have Busquets, we have Alba, we have Gressel, we have super young, talented players. We have Crema, we have Diego Gomez, we have Facu. Like top to bottom, the depth at many different positions is there. And we can definitely make a deep run in some of these competitions and hopefully all of these competitions. But if we can add those 1 or 2 more pieces, we're really set. But you're already starting to see very respected MLS writers saying that this is maybe one of the best teams that the MLS has ever seen.
Which I hate that, because you know what that is to me? Like, remember when Nick Saban would call that? That's rat poison. That's just rat poison. Don't eat it. Don't feed into it. We have a lot to prove. How about that?
Oh, 100%. And we should go into every game knowing that there's a target on our back. And we still have something to prove. Yeah, we still have something to prove. We didn't make the playoffs.
Everyone danced on our grave.
We bowed out. We bowed out of the U.S. Open Cup against Houston in the final.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't just want to stop at domestic competitions. We want to get the berth into the FIFA the World Cup, excuse me. Yes. We want to take our talents internationally in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. We want to elevate this club to a level that really is unparalleled in the MLS to this point. So yeah, we have a ton to prove, and that's what's beautiful about this sport is that it's not just like a linear, it's just the NFL that ends in the Super Bowl. Like there's all these other auxiliary competitions that give you something to want to prove outside of the bounds of your domestic league, which I think is just it's always so fun to watch. Like the coolest part towards the end of like the European seasons is starting to tune into the Champions League and understanding like who's the best of the best, like hands down. Like that I think is where Inter Miami really proves itself beyond just really going after the MLS and going after the Supporter Shield, all those things that are huge goals of ours, but then proving ourselves internationally outside of our domestic competitions. That's where we're going to set ourselves apart. And I'm going to assume that these boys know that they have that as their goal and that's what is expected, but they really need to go after it at the end of the day. Like we can assume as much as we want, but they need to get after it and they need to get out of the gates fast and hungry.
I just want to get more than Orlando. Whatever Orlando has, I think we're tied with them right now, technically.
I don't care about Orlando. That's how little I think of them. Like I don't care about them and their crappy water. They can stay over there and just soak in it. But it'll feel really nice when we play these international matches. And I'm talking about when we get there, when we get to these international club matches. And if we can win some of these games, like yes, it's huge for the MLS. It's huge for Inter Miami, but it means that much more that we're basically doing with an arm tied behind our back because we play in a system in the MLS that no other league has to deal with. So it's like we're being able to outplay some of these teams who are much more free financially to just operate and get talent. So if we can do that, I mean, it'll be bad. It might be bad because then MLS is going to be like, see, it works. But it'll just prove how talented this group is because something has to. Yes, they're all aging, and that's like the biggest thing I hear from people outside of this podcast, that when I talk to just regular people out on the road, they ask me, "Oh, how do you feel about having these aging stars?" Yes, they are aging. I don't think anybody can refute that. But something has to be said for the chemistry that they have, the knowledge of the way that they play, that transcends the age a little bit. That they've been able to adapt their games to still be successful. And if we can infuse the young talent around them properly, I think the sky's the limit for this team. That's why that has to be our calling card when it comes to playing these international matches. So let's see what we can do against El Salvador.
Well, let's
Hey,
hope.
I did.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I did look up the CONCACAF Cup dates. The beginning is March 7th. The first 2 weeks of March are rough as the schedule goes for Inter Miami. I mean, between league play and we have the 7th and the 13th CONCACAF matches. So it's just like 3 to 4 days apart each match. It's insane. So the first 2 weeks are going to be rough for sure.
And that's what you want to circle. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's what you circle. Because that's if I could say one of all four that I want, it's that one for sure.
Yeah, well, that unlocks that
Yes.
next tier of
the
competition.
next level.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that is amazing.
Jose can't wait to pay $500 to go sit in the
Oh.
nosebleed section against Real Madrid.
Oh my god, just whoever, I don't care.
Well, let's hope for a healthy and successful outing against El Salvador as we get through these friendlies. The friendly schedule in and of itself is very congested, which concerns me. This is the start of a world tour that's going to take us from Central America to East Asia, back over to Texas, and then back home for more friendlies. But let's hope for a great start. We will presumably be live after the game on Friday. To break down everything that we saw, to go over things that we like, things that we didn't like. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you have the bell on for the notifications for when we go live and when we post videos. Appreciate you guys always. Feel free to leave a comment. We love responding to you guys. And as always, thanks for tuning in to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. Catch you on the next one.